Hi everyone. Yeah, I like that wee countdown better than last week's. Last week's was a wee bit. I don't know. I just didn't really like the tune. How are we all doing? Is everybody okay? What are we all having a good week? What are we all up to this evening? Yeah, StreamYard's kind of a changed. I think I probably said that last week, but I've probably too much of a rush and a panic to try anything. But like, there's different there's background music and stuff. I think I might have messed about with the background music when I was painting. Now, when I've done a couple of lives where I was painting on them. So I remember I would stick on some background music when I was going to like wash my brushes and stuff. But like, let's see. This is dance pop. Yeah, I it's the same as it's always been there. Feeding the ducks. Pretty chill. Yeah, sorry, I'm just getting distracted, aren't I? How are all you guys doing? Let me say hi to everyone who's here. I'll need to navigate away from all these fun controls. So, with us this evening, we have Elspeth. Hi, Elspeth. How are you? We've got the lovely Sandra from Spirit of Avalon. Sandra, who I was in Sandra's own live the other day, which was good fun. And I went to tag Sandra, and I was still searching for the Whispering Well. Like, how long has it been now? And yeah, just in the back of my mind, but automatically I went to type Whispering Well, and then I was wondering why I couldn't find you. I was like, well, you're definitely here because I'm watching you on the TV. But no, just me being silly. See, Spanish Unite, yeah. Hi Simon, how are you? I'm excited because Simon is here and doesn't need to go to his bed early. We don't need to send him to bed early tonight because he's not got work in the morning. Which means he can stay and do the spread with us. If he so chooses. Hi Donna. I wonder what Wiser looks like trimmed. I'm not sure. I can show you what a general RWS looks like trimmed. You'll have seen this because it was in my video. In my VR to you, Simon. So yeah, this is my RWS, and this is just that original Rider Weight RWS. Not my best work. I trimmed it years and years and years ago, like before I was even on YouTube. But I like it. I took the white borders off the back and the front. That aligned quite nicely, I guess, which is cool. But yeah, I think this is the oldest deck that I've got. That's what that looks like. So I would imagine the Wiser would probably look similar. Obviously, it would have the different colours. Golden's here. Hi, Golden. How are you? Tony's here. You all right, Tony? And Marita's here. Hello, Marita. I've got my Sacred Web all shuffled and ready. I actually gave my Sacred Web tarot away. Do you know? I don't think I was ever going to use it. It just wasn't one that I was gelling with. So yeah, I gave it away. So I don't have the Sacred Web anymore. But I'm excited that you like it and you're getting use out of it. That's quite good. Who else have we got? Fortune's Red. Jen's here. Hi, Jen. How are you? Donna has got Dreaming Way and a nice glass of rosé. Very nice. I've got two drinks here. I've got a glass of Malibu, and this is like a tropical fizzy juice. It's orange and mango. So with like coconut Malibu, it's tasty. And I've also got uh coffee. I've got what is this? Like a vanilla flavoured latte with oat milk. It's just tasty. Simon is saying hi to Joe. Verdiad is here. How are you? I had to return a new tarot deck this morning. It was missing 6 of the cups. Never had that before. I've never had that either. Which tarot deck was it? That's bizarre. Was it like a mass market deck? Or was it an indie one? A lot more annoying if it was indie, I would imagine. Oh, Simon's the number of times, Tony, they need to be more careful. I've never seen that, I don't think. Not that I can remember anyway. Really need to shave. Beard is annoying me. Employ someone for quality control. Oh, and Sandra's. Do you know, before I went live, I saw this comment at the bottom saying definitely we need better quality control. I was like, what's Sandra talking about? It's so weird, but it confirms my compulsion to check the completeness of every new deck that I get. Every new deck as soon as I get it. Yeah. Oh, hi Jamie, how are you? It's nice to see you. Miss Moonlight's here. Everyone's a mod, I know. See. I don't even know how to moderate. I mean, really, you don't need to do anything unless a troll comes in, and trolls are really obvious. And you just like if you the 3 dots, or if you can select on their comment, you can time them out or block them. I think so. I don't usually use the timeouts because why would you want to time somebody out for a small period of time? Like, you either just want to have them there or you don't, in my view. Unless I'm doing it just to annoy somebody, just to fuck with someone, then I might time them out just for shits and giggles. But yeah. Nikki's here. Hi Nikki, how are you? Let's see. Oh, that must have been when I played the music. Oh, I don't even know what I said. There's Kathy. Hi Kathy. How are you? I don't like the font on the Wiser, but love the colours. I can't trim because the minors don't have titles. I know what you mean. It's annoying, isn't it? I suppose if you were going to do it, you would need to just do it tactfully, just take that amount off every card. Yeah, you don't really want to cut off the artwork, do you? But in saying all that, the font doesn't actually bother me at all. I think it's nice. But I know what you mean. It's just because it's not Pixie's font, isn't it? I do like it. See, I like quite a lot of font actually. Do you know the only font on an RWS that I really don't like is, see this yellow box that's got the kind of It's not Pixie's font, it's this one, with this kind of a type font. I've never really been a fan of that. It's the one with the, the plaid backs. I'm not even really sure why. I've just never liked it. It feels very Times New Roman to me. It's probably not Times New Roman at all, but it feels Times New Roman, and I've never been a fan of Times New Roman, or Comic Sans for that matter. Do you know, this is a terrible thing to say. I'm going to say it anyway. So there's a gravestone. I walk the girls, I walk the dogs around the graveyard near me. There's a gravestone that's the font is Comic Sans. Like, that's not right. Is that like, if Sandy did my headstone in Comic Sans, I would haunt him for the rest of these days. I think I really wouldn't appreciate that at all. Hi, Jelly. How are you? Jen has trimmed one of those, but left Pixie's font on, or most of it. Mine's is a papery one from the 70s or 80s. Is that the one I've trimmed that you're meaning? Mine's isn't from the 70s or 80s, but mine's is, I think that one's probably from like the 90s or the early 2000s, and well, it's not papery, it is kind of a quite laminated, but I like it. Moomintaro, how are you? Jamie's saying hi to Jelly. I forgot you always call Jelly Rev. See, because we've not had wee get-togethers in years, I totally went out of my mind. Funny. Going into that London to show a friend around Atlantis, Treadwells and Watkins. Pray for my bank balance. Oh, you'll be fine, I'm sure. I need to go to London. I've not been to London since right before the pandemic. Early 2020, I was in London. And it was horrific weather. Wait, I might actually be talking shite. I might have been in London after that. I would need to consult the brains of the operation, Sandy. You'll know. But yeah, I've got a feeling. Anyway, I remember being there. I remember being there just before the pandemic, and I remember the weather being awful, and our flight being like delayed, and we had trouble getting to the airport and all that. It's actually pretty scary. Golden has a gin and tonic, very nice. Let's see. Can you drink coffee at night? I probably shouldn't, to be honest, Jen, but I've been a silly sausage this evening. I've been very sleepy and had a big long nap on the couch before this live. So I think having a wee coffee is the least of my worries right now. But we'll see. We'll see. I was obviously needing it. I was shattered. But yeah, I don't think it's one of the powder, one of the powder drinks you just put water into. I don't think it's that high in caffeine. I've never found it to be that bad when I have a drink of it at night. But I usually generally as a rule try not to. Yeah, sounds tasty. Yeah, the other drink it is. It's lovely. A mug of Yorkshire tea for Kathy. Very nice. I've got that Pedro, Pedro, Pedro song stuck in my head. Let's see, he's never been around them, so I'm happy to show him around. Just wonder how much temptation I'll manage to resist. You'll be fine. Oh, there's Debbie. Hi, Debbie. How are you doing? How's your gorgeous wee Granwayne, Debbie? Has the sun come out? It has not really come out here today, I'll tell you that for free. It has been miserable weather in Glasgow today. I managed to. I can't complain because I'm working from home and I'm not having to be really that much out and about in the rain. And at both times, I managed to get the girls out their walk and for it not to be raining. You know, I managed to find the wee windows of opportunity when it wasn't pissing down with rain to walk them. So I really shouldn't complain about the weather today, but still, it's been pretty miserable. Tony says, yes, Chris, Twin Flames ordered on Amazon. Twin Flames ordered on Amazon. I can't remember what I'd asked her. It's terrible. This is what I get for being so behind in the chat. By the time I get to your comments, I've forgotten what it was that I said that you're answering. So apologies. Let's see. I can see a few people have tagged me in messages actually on the YouTube chat. So Jolly tagged me to say I'm present. Ad says that's got to be the worst font choice. That'll be the. Oh no, or maybe for the headstone. Sandra says if you come to London, I could meet you with Simon. That would be an amazing experience. I would love that. We should totally do that. Golden saying London with Ad, Sandra, Simon, and myself tagged. Are we getting a wee London crowd together? Let's see. Received it as a gift. I found it a bit intimidating until I paired it with a pretty oracle and then started reading the book, and the interpretations are so kind. Okay. A troll wouldn't stand a chance in this chat. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely wouldn't. I have a first edition Playful Heart Tarot where the first 28 cards are. Oh, I know what it was. Twin Flames ordered on Amazon was the one with all the cups missing, wasn't it? Got there in the end. I had a feeling I would, but sorry that took me a while. First edition Playful Heart Tarot, where the first 28 cards are a different card stock, smooth, than the rest. Oh, that's annoying. I've got a deck. It's that small one. Is it the Hanson Roberts? Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, this one. Yeah, the Hanson Roberts. And I got this second hand. I think it was in a bookshop or something. And it was missing the Ace of Cups. And for years, I just put up with the fact that the Ace of Cups was missing. But then when I started watching YouTube, people were saying how, oh, you can just message the publisher and they'll send you one. That's a great idea. So I did that and they very kindly sent it out to me. But because this is an older copy, the Ace of Cups is obviously new, and it's a new kind of a totally new card stock, and even like the corner rounding's different, so I can actually spot. Is it the Ace of Cups? Just make sure it is. Yes, it is. But I can spot it a mile off. Excuse me. I don't know how well. Yeah, you can totally see it. That's it there. That's the Ace of Cups. And it's not showing up. Let me stick the light on my phone on. It's not showing up, but it's even like the kind of a background card. So it feels different cardstock, and it's whiter on this cardstock than it is on this. And I don't know if that's because of the age of it or because it is just a slightly different color of cardstock. You can't really tell on this, but yeah, it's a shame. I mean, to be honest, it's not really a deck I'm going to be reaching for all that often. Some of the art I find a bit unusual, but still, it's always annoyed me. So, oh, Jelly, you're feeling a bit under the weather and drinking water tonight. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better soon. I'm amassing a pile of tarot decks here, and that's just purely from talking shite about them. It's not even because I intended to have these tarot decks piled here. It's rained 21 out of the last 29 days. I feel like I'm in England, but the sun has just peeked out. It's glorious. Fair 65 and cloudy for Jen. I think a sheet of smooth stock must have accidentally gotten into the works during the print run. Exactly the kind of weird thing that would happen to me, says Donna. Simon says England's been glorious. I'm sunburnt. Let's see. You need to get your factor 50 on, Simon. Heading towards hosepipe ban weather in the south. They mentioned that. Oh, is that actually something they do? Just to conserve water? Yeah, gravestones and Comic Sans, right? Okay, I'm only about 5 minutes behind myself. Yeah, got to be the worst font choice. I'm looking back. Hi, Marion, how are you? Hey, Tammy Pie, how you doing? I didn't mean to bring up old hearts, but everyone else has a spanner. Not everyone else, to be fair. I think I was like giving out spanners left, right, and centre last week. But I don't need everyone to be a spanner. I just need enough so that if there's some fuckery going on, I've got people here that can deal with it. So it just means that whoever doesn't have a spanner gets to chill out and just watch the live and not feel that sense of responsibility. It's high time I showed you around those shops, Chris, says Simon. Yeah. Oh, yeah, London meetup, right, I'm seeing it. See, I was just looking at the tagged comments before. Beth's here. Hi, Beth, how are you? And the lovely Deanne's here. Hi, Deanne. Are you at Karate with Max? If you come to London, I could... Oh, yeah, sorry. Having afternoon coffee and homemade pumpkin biscotti. Oh, very fancy, Beth. Very fancy. Expecting nothing less. Going to the later karate class tonight, so I actually get to say hi. Oh, very nice. How are you anyway, Deanne? I feel like don't think I've spoke to you today. How are you? How are the kids? How's Ryan? I can drink coffee right before bed, no effect. I don't get that. If I drink too much, if I have too much caffeine too late at night, I might be able to get to sleep, but I'll give myself. It's like I'm getting frights and waking up. Do you know what I mean? So I'm getting like wee frights in my sleep and waking up. It's really bizarre and I don't like it. Too much energy. Oh, Marita's. Where are you again, Marita? I always forget. But you're somewhere like in Europe or something, aren't you? Just after 10 a.m. here, caramel macchiato. Does anyone find that climate change is affecting them a lot? I mean, yeah, and from a point of view that it's affecting all of us and it's affecting the planet and stuff. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if I would say that it's affecting me more personally though. But it's only going to get worse, isn't it? Play, love, remember. Hello, everyone. Hi there. I'm not sure if I've met you before, so if that's your first time here, then welcome. Thanks very much for joining us and saying hi. It's been grey, drizzly, and chilly here in Liverpool. The missing card was from a deck ordered from Amazon. Oh yeah, that was you answering when I was getting confused. I can't genuinely remember, Chris, but have you met anyone from YouTube? Yeah, well, I've met Marion, who might still be in the chat somewhere. Marion K. Taro. So I've definitely met Marion. So I suppose, yeah. And Elaine as well, actually. Elaine, I went and visited Elaine's shop over on the south side of Glasgow. That would be a fun blog, a London adventure with Spirit of Avalon, Hermit's Cave and Elemental Cartomancy, and some meat. It would. Marion says, I'm sorry, but anything called Twin Flame gives me the ick. Why? Why is that? Chili's the same. Next time you're in that London, I'd happily give you some of my homebrew as a gift. That's very kind. Jen, your name is Jen, isn't it? I've not misremembered that. Please tell me. Oh yeah. I've just seen a comment there at the bottom saying I'm Jen. I'm Jen in here, Simon. What's my unicorn deck? I'm not actually sure, if I'm totally honest with you. What's my unicorn deck? For a long time, it was this. It was the kind of an indie version of the Lightseers with the original Ten of Swords. But I've got that. The box is dusty. I've got it now. Just because the reason I've got it is because I think I must be talking about it, and one of our lovely community members obviously heard me and messaged me afterwards and said that they had a copy. And I bought it. So yeah, that was it for a long, long time. I don't even know what. I suppose if you know Rachel Pollock's deck, The Shining Tribe, there's an old art edition of that that's like it's borderless. It's just the art. There's no titles or any borders or anything. And I think there's square corners on it. So there's a version of that deck. but I'm pretty sure that sells for like hundreds, and it's just more than I'm willing to pay for a tarot deck, or at least a tarot deck. So Rachel's deck, I'm in a co-facilitate a study group for it, so I do. Shining Tribe Exploratorium. Look us up if anyone's interested. It's open to all. But so that's a monthly thing. We get together and we use it. I use it all the time, but I use it for very particular types of reading. It's not something that I think I would be able to just use to read for someone else, just any random question, you know. I don't think I would take it to a fair and read for people. Although I could be wrong. You don't know until you try, do you? But I tend to only reach for it for particular types of reading. So for that reason, if I was going to spend that amount of money on a deck, I think I want it to be something like the Light Seers, where I would get proper use out of it, you know. So there's that. I don't know. I'll have a think about it as the live goes on, and as ideas pop into my head, I'll let you know. Antibiotics are on the way. Mr. Honey is at the pharmacy as we speak. Oh no, that sounds bad, Jelly. That doesn't sound good at all. Well, I hope the antibiotics work quick and that you feel better soon. Marilyn's here. Hi, Marilyn. Marilyn, you've been watching my videos and commenting on them this week, which I really appreciate. I appreciate everyone who watches my stuff and leaves comments. It's nice. Brewing mead is part of the Druid mysteries. Nice. I wonder if any other Druids that I know brew their own mead. I have to admit, the mixed card stock bugs me. And I think the smooth cards have a tendency to clump together when I shuffle due to circumstances. By the time I realised that this edition was out of print. Oh no, that's not good. The weather was utterly delightful on my day trip to Edinburgh yesterday. Oh, very nice. I'll need to hear all about that. Miss Marion, all about it. I want to hear about how your trip went. I want to hear about the weather, and I want to hear about other things too. Lovely Donna from Artists and Oracles is here. Evening, all listening while making dinner. Lovely to hear you. What are you making us for dinner, Donna? Are you making us something nice? Because we are all hungry. It's all right. I'm already aspiring in my soul. Did anyone here get a copy of the Magical Hours Tarot? I don't. Anyone else? Didn't realise biscotti is fancy. I think it just sounds fancy, doesn't it? Coffee is caffeine, which is a drug and affects your sleep, says Jen. Simon says he's dead to the world. Karen's here. Hi, Karen. How are you? I do have some criticisms. There are no crones or elders in the deck. It's glossy, and I don't like oversized cards. However, having said that, I do love the art. Do you have it, Jelly? Or was that the deck Jelly was asking about? Magical Hours Tarot. Making first dinner? What do you mean first dinner? Is this like a Pippin from Lord of the Rings moment? He's like, What about we've had first breakfast? What about second breakfast? 11's, tea, afternoon tea, lunch, supper, dinner. Is that what's going on here? Do you have like multiple dinners? I could be on board with that, to be fair. Guess you've met me and you actually have to ask why twin flame give me the ick. I don't have to. I'm just asking just to. I don't know. I'm just being a troublemaker, really. Just try to stir the pot, Marion, you know. So on Amazon, I'm sad it doesn't have prawns. Do you know, I saw you say hi to Joe earlier, and I was like, I can't see Joe. Where's Joe? Shining Woman, yeah, that's the eye. Diane asking about my unicorn decks. I suppose Shining Woman would be one. I was the very first version of the Shining Tribe. And then Rachel re-released it and called it the Shining Tribe. I think part of the reason for that was a lot of people weren't getting the deck because they thought it was a deck that was only for women, and that wasn't Rachel's intention at all. But yeah. Beth is saying, tired of not having Crohn's. Have you seen When Women Had Wings? It's not as glossy, oversized cards though. Elders and Crones are included. What does unicorn deck mean? Favorite or rare? Yeah, it's kind of a like a deck that you know, it's your dream deck. Your deck, a deck that's a dream to have. You know, if you could have any deck, this is the deck you would want. And usually you find that a person's unicorn deck is either like, I think Simon, yours is like an original Pammy, isn't it? Just like a deck that you're probably not going to get, or if you were to get it, it would cost you like you need to remortgage your house to get it type thing. Yeah, there you go. Impossible to find, hard to find, rare as a unicorn. Yeah. That you've always wanted, but for some reason you can't easily get it. Looking for the old Shining Tribe for you, Chris. It's the art edition. I don't think you'll find it, to be honest with you. Well, I don't. They may well be selling it, but the last time I asked about it, it was like hundreds. It was literally hundreds. So I've got two versions of it. I got this version, which is now out of print. And I've got the kind of a newest one, the current Wiser edition of it. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Unicorn themed decks, I don't think are Chris's favourite. I don't think so, anyways. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily be against it, but it's not something that I feel is like I'm longing for. I feel is really missing in my life, you know. I'm going to give it 2 wee seconds. I'm actually going to turn on a light and I'm going to open up the window in here because it is roasting. Maybe I should just take my fucking hoodie off. But hang on, let's mess about with this. So let's see. Oh, I can add backgrounds. What kind of backgrounds do you want? Let's see, that one's quite cool. So let's make that background and let's have a daydreaming. Sorry, Karen, I just realised that everybody got to just sit and stare at you and your comment for that 10 seconds there. Oh, by the way, he's like my new setup that you can see above my head. So most of this stuff I've had for a while. So the two candles, there and there. So I've had them for a while. Those are my Boaz and Yakin. Marion will remember those candles, won't you, Marion? Marion was taking the piss out of me. Maybe she'll remember and she can tell the story. That's new. I bought it thinking it was a candle holder. It's actually it's an incense thing. For the what you call it, the incense that goes down. So yeah, the cone sits in there and it comes out. The smoke comes out the mouth. But I thought it was quite cool. I got that in Clinton's, I think. And I also got, if you can see what my dragon's holding, I got a wand. So this was from Sword and Sorcery, which is the shop I've talked about before. It is beautiful. If you hold on 2 seconds, I need to find a wee bit of paper that tells me what wood it is. So it's cherry wood, and it's got a rose quartz with a crystal on top, and it's handmade. There's a kind of a group that get together in Kirky called the Antonine Moot, and I've been to it a few times, but I've not been in several months. But one of the guy and Nikki, one of the people that runs the Sword and Sorcery shop, she goes to it, and one of the guys that goes to the Moot makes these. So she had a bunch of them on sale, so she did in the shop. So yeah, it's beautiful. It's nice and kind of a look, but it's got this nice varnish finish, and this spiral is hand done. So yeah, I was pleased with that. Take that back to my dragon. Yeah, let me get back to where I was. Simon's was the green wood, right? Okay. Jelly likes oversized cards because of revision. Haven't seen that deck, but I'll look at it. If I remember rightly, it's got nice kind of a violet gilded edges. The Women Had Wings deck. Mine is the Illuminated Tarot by Carol Herzer. I've got an illuminated. It's a black borders, no titles deck that I've got. It's nice. About Shining Tribe, love it too, but have yet to try to read for anyone else with it. It's a goal though. Nice. Is that the original Shining Tribe, the one in the reddish box? So yeah, but it's the original Shining Tribe, yes, this one. So that was the one that I showed you. The other one is the other one I've got is this. This is the one that's currently out, the Wiser edition. This is the other one that I've got. So before this, there was the Shining Woman, and that's what Deanne's talking about. And Deanne's actually got a copy of the Shining Woman, so I'm sure if we asked her nicely, she would do a wee when she gets time, she might do a wee walkthrough on our channel for us of the Shining Woman. So the Shining Woman came first, and then I think it was that, and I'm not sure where along the way the art, the one that I'm talking about, the kind of the borderless art deck came out. I have a feeling I've not truly found mine. Mine is the Oracle Tarot by Lucy Cavendish, the earlier version with stiff cards. Love it. If I find it, that's really kind of you, Jen, but you don't have to do that. But I appreciate it. Yeah, if you do find it and you find it for a reasonable price, then give me a shout. Just let me know, and I can. Because I would get it obviously if it was at a reasonable price. That's the thing. More body inclusion, says Jelly. Beth is saying when women had wings, has that. Tony's here. Hi Tony, how are you doing? Glittered ones are like gold dust, literally. Is that the Carol Hertzer ones? It's not a glittered one that I've got, but I do quite like mine. I've never been a glittery person, to be honest. Oh, and Donna's answered my question. So leftovers, haddock, chicken, spuds, and veggies. Sounds lovely. For my dinner tonight, I had a Slimming World wrap. It was a white wrap with chicken and scrambled egg, fried chicken and scrambled egg, and it was delicious. I know it sounds really random, but it was delicious. Deanne's saying pretty much. So Beth had asked if it was dinner for the kids. Max eats before karate and after. Right, okay. So there is first dinner and second dinner. Really, there's two, really. I love the way you just said first dinner. How did I say it? How do I say it? How do I say it that's different from you? First dinner, second dinner. I thought I was thinking the same about second breakfast, yeah. Would love to, when it comes to London, buy a round of drinks in a bar. Yeah, that would be really cool. I think we should set something up. In fact, do you know, see, when I'm thinking about it, I probably shouldn't muse about these things out loud without speaking to Sandy first, but I'm actually off. But I've had to take a week, the last week in June, off on holiday, because I had holidays to use up, and I don't think Sandy's not off. So see, if I was going to go on a wee trip somewhere, that kind of like a time when he's working anyway and I'm off is probably quite a good time to do it. I've got a Clark Kent bit of hair here that's really irritating me. I can see it in the camera. Asking if Jen is in the UK. Are you in the UK, Jen? Mibramig was a unicorn that I managed to capture. Really? Like this one? Oh, where is it? The Mibramig Magical Tarot. Is this like out of production? Because I've had that for years. Sandy got me that just as a. He spotted it and sort of thought it was something I'd like. And I do, to be fair, I do like it. It reads really well. Anytime I've used it for readings, I've got really good readings out of it. But it's not one that I reach for very often. But I would never have thought of it as being someone's unicorn deck. Pammy is the ultimate unicorn. It's never going to happen. Happy with my blushing fool. Yeah, that's what a blushing fool is. I've not actually got a blushing fool. I've got a blue box that's not a blushing fool. But I mean, see, to be fair, this is, as far as I'm aware, that is the same cardstock. You know, the colours are all the same. You know, that kind of a vividness or something. See, because there's no lamination on it, there's something about it that just makes the colours pop. But so I think literally the only difference is the full card isn't blushing, and I'm not really that bothered by that. Oh, it's there at the very end. Turn the light on. So yeah, that's my fill there. So you can see he's not got that kind of a blushing effect. I gave up on one of my unicorn decks, impossible to get, and that happens sometimes. Or maybe we're just not meant to have certain decks, says Sandra. Maybe. I actually don't think I have a unicorn deck. I really can't think of one. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know I just thought of a few, but I think I'm quite happy with the decks that I've got, you know. Love the yellow border version of it. Prefer it to the new release. Don't have Shining Woman. Yeah, the colours in the Wiser one are on some of the cards they're really really nice, but in some of them I'm not really sure. Some of them they've really improved with how they've changed the colour palette, but in some of them I'm not so sure I feel that way. But then I think the colours on the kind of the Wiser edition are closer to what the original was, so can't complain, I guess. Nothing precious is sustainable in my household with twin toddlers, says Karen. Golden's asking Sandra what her unicorn deck is. Nice noodles, trippy. Oh, that was when I went to turn on the light. Oh, I'm so far behind. Marion's unicorn is the special edition Alice from Baba Studios. Oh, nice. I need either your real name or how to contact you, or I can send to Sandra or Simon, says Jen. I find that unicorn decks can be like fashion. Sometimes they wax and wane with me, says Tony. I'm howling at the candles, all the flame. I love the candle holder on the top shelf behind you. Wooden, beautiful, simple but elegant. Are you meaning this, the Cobra? That was a Christmas gift from Sandy, and it is really nice. Although I don't know if it's wooden. I think it's like, oh well, maybe it is actually. Do you still have your wand collection, Sandra? Asked Chilly. I still have mine. Mine sits in the windowsill, and every so often one of the dogs will think, "Oh, a stick." See, when I got that, they thought all their Christmases had come at once, and then they were like highly objected to me putting it out of their reach. They were like, "But there's a stick in the house. Why are we not playing with it?" I've said stick and I've summoned Luna. I'm wondering if you can see my email on my channel. But would love an excuse to see Sandra or Simon. I could email Simon my email. My husband made me a wand from a branch that dropped from a maple tree. Very nice. By the way, has anyone listened to Susie Chang's new podcast? T. Susan Chang. It's called the Tarot Podcast, and her first interview was with Mary Kay Greer. It's on YouTube, so if you look up, in fact, let me find it. The Tarot Podcast on YouTube. It was only half an hour long. It's not like dead long to a point where you feel like you're listening for ages. And even if it was, like, it's one of those ones you can just listen to, in your ear when you're out walking the dogs and whatnot. Check it out. Do a video showing the wands. I'm not sure I quite believe this wonder, and sorry, I'm not sure I quite believe this wonder. I would need very much to be able to send a little something. Oh, you're talking to Jen, because Jen's found your unicorn deck. Don't really have a unicorn deck, but I wish I'd got the Austin Osman spare when it was in print, says Elspeth. Tower Pie says you had a white rat for dinner. Simon says white rats are delicious. My unicorn deck is the Bone Stone. Also wouldn't mind the original Greenwood, but very excited for the new Kickstarter release of that. The Bone Stone is coming out at mass market. Did you know? It is Blue Angel that's going to be doing it, as far as I'm aware. So that should be good. That should be good. If it comes out mass market, I will probably get it. Oh, you're talking to me. You thought I said white rat. No, a rap, a Slimming World rap. I didn't say rat. White wrap. You got wholemeal wraps and white wraps. I'm really conscious of how I'm saying it. That's what Evelyn said in the video. Yeah, she said recently she kind of announced that it was going to be Blue Angel that was doing it. A UK meetup for the last week in June. We could meet for lunch in Soho. It's taking a while. Elspeth is North London, so always up for a meetup. Tony, you're kind of a London area as well, are you not? I bought that deck in Edinburgh. I'm not sure what deck it is now. Is that the Mibramig or the blue box, not non-blushing full? Early 70s blue boxes are beautiful, blushing full or not. Yeah, they are. Yeah, I think it's just something to do with not having that laminate. Just, I think, makes the line work and the colours really pop. Don't like the size of the cardstock of the new Wiser version. Oh, okay, is that a wee bit bigger? Something I've been toying with is the idea of getting myself another Wiser and trimming it to just the images. And the group I was in, we were talking to Zoe, who was Rachel's partner, and Zoe loved the idea, so she did. She was like, "Oh, I'm going to try that." Rachel approved every part of the Wiser edition. It was how she wanted it. Yeah, I think it was close to her original kind of a colourings, wasn't it? Yeah, the Cobra. Yeah, it's nice. I like the red kind of a spirally candles as well. Yeah, the dogs. What are they like? Oh gosh, it's 10 o'clock. I've been here for an hour just talking an absolute load of shite. Deary me. Learn to read with Deviant Man. I didn't know that, Tony. Let's all hit the like button for our dear Chris. Oh, thanks, Donna. I think the Deviant Moon was the first deck that Sandy gifted to me. So Deviant, that is always going to be a special deck for me for that reason. I'm pretty sure that was 2017, I want to say. But yeah, I do love the Deviant Moon. Is anyone excited for the Trionfi della Luna? The two versions of it coming out mass market? Is anyone going to get it? Simon, I know you'll get it, but is anyone else going to get it? There's going to be an Oracle. Yeah, that's right. Actually, I'd forgotten about that. Is Anna illustrating it? I know Avalon did say, but it's totally slipped my mind. Can't wait to see what they change in Bonestone. It should be interesting. Yeah, it will. It will. Because they're not keeping all of the cards the same, are they? So yeah, it was me and Mikey got in Edinburgh. Marilyn wants to get Bonestone too. Yeah, I'll like I say, I'll probably get it if it goes mass market. When it goes mass market, when that comes out, I'll get it. But it's not one that I would spend hundreds and hundreds on, purely because I don't know if I would get that much use out of it, if you know what I mean. So I don't think I would ever get the indie version, but I'll happily get the mass market. I'm going to have a look and see if you'll trim it. I think it will be quite cool. Here for the shite. I'm confused. Are we talking about Wiser Tarot or Shining Tribe? We're talking about Shining Tribe, Simon. Or at least that's what I think Donna's talking about from Artists and Oracles. It's the Wiser version of the Shining Tribe. It's because Wiser do this. It's them that released this tarot deck. Wondering what the colouring will be like for Trionfi. Yeah, I would imagine they'll keep it pretty similar. The cardstock that the Trionfi decks are on, I think, they're kind of a make playing cards type cardstock, which isn't far off of US games. I would imagine US games probably won't mess too much with a good thing. And probably keep it more or less the same, but who knows? So Tammy Pie, you're going to keep to your regular. I've got both. I've got the Master TDM edition and I've got the Illustrated Pips edition, and I do love them both. But I don't know. I might get my thing. My problem is I don't get as much use out of like indie decks, particularly ones that are a bit more expensive. I don't get as much use out of them as what I would want, and that's because I'm not. I don't really tend to take them to markets because I let people shuffle my cards and stuff at markets, and I don't really want to do that if it's valuable decks I've got. So I really need to get over that, to be honest, because decks are there to be used. But yeah, I think it'd be good having a mass market edition because I know I wouldn't mind people like shuffling the hell out of them. Marilyn's going to order it. Deviant Moon Mini is my 7-year-old's first deck. He saw my regular size one and loved it. Oh, that's really cute, Elspeth. I love to say I've bought Deanne's boy, Max. I've bought him a couple of tarot decks, and every so often he'll glide me and he'll pull some cards for me, and it's great. I think it's great seeing kids working with tarot decks. Just how their wee storyteller minds work. It's brilliant. Oops. It'd be a travesty if Anna didn't illustrate the Oracle. Simon got rid of the Bone Stone, Don't Hate Me. Oh, you've got Bones of Bone Stone. I didn't actually know that. I didn't get that one either. I did. I knew you'd... I mean, I think you traded it for something you really wanted, didn't you? So getting rid of is a pretty harsh term. Love the images Anna is sharing on social media of her new Oracle. Bonestone is a must for me. It's mass market. One on sale on Etsy. Sorry, there's a very loud car going by. I don't know if you heard that. One on sale for Etsy for over £700. Yeah, see, that to me is just, there's no need. The card stock was really nice, but the gilding was garbage. I'd love to see a baby tarot reader. Having learnt to read online for others, no one is grubbing up my decks in person. Sandra has Bonestone and loves it. I wasn't sure if you still had it, Sandra. That's good to know. Do you still use it? And Avalon still has a few on sale via her website. Yeah, and they're not as much as like £700, but she still charges a few £100 for them, I think. Right, will we pull some cards? Will we get going with the spreads? You know what? I'm going to use this just in the spirit of using decks that I don't use as much because I don't want to mess them up. Wait, is it in order? No, it's not. We're cooking with gas. Now, should I shuffle reversals into my blue box non-blushing fool? Is that going to make Simon regret rue the day that he decided he was staying up late? What do we think, folks? The MPC deck was about £70. Aye, and then when you add on postage and packaging, it's probably about £170. It was kind of spendy. Yeah. Right. I know some of you have already shared what tarot decks you're using for the spread, but whoever's joining me for the spread, what tarot decks are you using? If you're not pulling cards, feel free to still hang about and chat. Oops. Oh, the star card just flipped itself around when I was shuffling. So the spread that I've got today, it's actually, I think it's quite a good wee down-to-earth spread. I think it'll be quite good in everyday. So quite a good everyday spread, actually. It's just 4 cards. And I think this would be quite good as like a daily spread if you felt like doing that. It's from a website called sortedsoul.com. Yeah, sortedsoul.com. And you'd be able to use this as a general spread. You'd also be able to use it if you had a particular question in mind. Simon says, I use my recent blushing fool all the time. What do you mean your recent one? Oh, did you get a new one? I think I do remember that actually. I think you might have said that in the video where you were telling us the blushing fool was your favourite again. Tony's using the Enchantress Tarot. Purchased it earlier today. Did 2 readings, extremely accurate. Nice. Tabby Pie's using. Oh no, Debbie's using Tildwick. Jelly is using Tarot de Sonquois. Beth, Forester's Daughter. Going retro with the Robin Wood. I've got a Robin Wood tarot, but it sits on my offrender, and I just use it when I'm like doing some ancestor stuff. It sits in a box on there. I love it. I got it. I just got it at the end of last year when my dad passed away. Let's see. Primero Tarot for Tammy Pie, Dreaming Way for Donna. Oh, you found one in a shop. Oh, very good. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Was it a charity shop? Or was it a shop that knew what they were selling? But that's great. Right, that's an amazing wee find. That's like, you know, you said your dream is like one of these days you're going to pop into a charity shop and there on the shelf is going to be a dusted version of the Pammy. Like, that's pretty much what happened, except it was a blushing fool. Going to have my dinner with my hubby now. Hope to stop back in after. Enjoy your dinner, Donna. Vachetta, says Simon. Reminds me of Good Karma Tarot. Kept hearing Chris say your name, but I didn't see to Debbie. Oh. No, a shop in Hayworth. They knew exactly what it was. It was advertised as a blushing fool. And Debbie says she's been looking. Right, I'm going to stop talking and give myself a few seconds just to shuffle. Okay, folks, so the first spread position is what do I need to think about? What do I need to think about? And I've got the 5 of Cups. Okay, 5 of Cups. Whereabouts, what do I need to think about? Whereabouts in my life am I maybe perhaps dwelling on the negatives and not seeing the positives in the situation? Where am I letting my disappointment take over a wee bit? Where am I getting a wee bit carried away with disappointment? Yeah. Where am I maybe getting a bit upset about spilled milk, you know? And I mean, we all need to have our reactions to things, and we all react differently, and that's fine. But I think it's important that we don't let ourselves stay in that place for any longer than we have to be. There does come a point where we need to, get our head out our backside, draw a line in the sand, and turn around and see those cups that are still full. So I think that's what I need to think about. Whereabouts am I perhaps dwelling on the negatives, and where could I see more of the positives in the situation? Thanks very much, Tony. Kelly says, I never find decks at thrift shops. Most of ours are Christian based, and I swear they burn them out. Out back with the books. Oh, probably. Never found anything in the charity shop either, says Simon. I know someone in the States who has basically been into every charity shop and said, if you get any tarot decks, here's my number, give me a call. And I think they call them, which is quite clever. Okay, so Tammy Pie's got the Six of Wands. So what are you celebrating, Tammy Pie? And the sixes are the Six of Wands is traditionally the victory card, yeah. But for me, sixes are about, there's a harmonizing aspect of the six. There's like a give and take. So in the Six of Wands, for me, it's the balance between the achievements of that person doing the victory march and he's being cheered on by the crowd and energized by the crowd. So there's a bit of mutual exchange there. So I think it's about appreciation. So what have you got to be appreciative for, I suppose, is what you think about. Death card, so you're thinking about changes and transformations and things coming to an end, and how can you make the most of that, Tony? Four of Pence reversed for Donna. Okay. I don't remember what deck you're using, but Four of Pentacles reversed, we start getting it. So fours are stability, in the Earth suit. I mean, Earth is supposed to be stable. So Four of Pentacles in and of itself is just about, material stability, financial stability, about having the resources that you need to get yourself through. When it reverses, I think we start delving into that shadow place of, right, okay, where am I maybe perhaps clinging on a wee bit too much to maybe the things that I've amassed? Where am I becoming a wee bit too materialistic? Or where am I clinging on when really I need to, for fear of what's to come next, for fear of one of these five situations where when the fours are reversed, it's usually we're clinging on to that semblance of stability because we know, of the uncertainty that follows. Jelly's got a four as well, Four of Swords. She was thinking about rest and recuperation. As soon as Mr. Honey gets those antibiotics, that's exactly what you're going to have to think about, Jelly. So Simon, you get the Star. That's lovely. The Star was the card that jumped around whilst I was shuffling. The Star's another one of those cards. I like to think about the cards around about it when I'm interpreting it. So I see the, like, same as everyone else, about hope and that sense of happiness that comes with the Star, that sense of healing. But it's when you think about the fact that it's the Tower that's come before it, that's to me what the Star is healing us from. After that absolute rock bottom moment, the Star is like that first glimmer of hope, that first kind of a, right, okay, I'm going to be okay here. So maybe that comes in the form of someone kind of reaching out a hand and offering to help, or maybe it comes from just you in and of yourself realizing, right, okay, this is going to be okay. The star's a beautiful card. I could talk for ages about the star. Sandra was in Glastonbury and found 2 decks in a charity shop. Very nice, Sandra. What decks were they? Let me pop this guy up here because I'm conscious that the comments are covering him. Emperor for Ferdiad. So you're thinking about stability, bringing things into order. So where in your life do you need to bring order? Order from the chaos. Oh, you got the same card reversed earlier today. That's funny. The 7 of Coins, Debbie. So you're thinking about the timing things right. I mean, the 7 of Coins is like it is a positive card, but it's about choosing the right time to do things. Kind of like taking bread out of the oven. You don't want to do it too soon because then it'll be undercooked, but you don't want to leave it too late because then it'll be burnt. So there's a right time for everything. Sometimes it's about having a wee bit of patience. That puts a high price tag on the item, says Simon. Marion needs to go. I will message you later. No worries, Marion. I'll chat to you later. I'll probably be up all night because of this coffee that I'm drinking and because I napped earlier. So send us a message. Tammy Pie has the Prince Tiferet. Are you using an Oracle deck for this, Tammy Pie? Tiferet being the 6th sphere. Yeah. Let's see. Feeling pretty grateful lately. Life is good. Oh, no, wait. You had the 6 of Wands, didn't you? Yeah. Golden has the Biro Tarot and it's the Ace of Cups. Feel the love of life. Very nice. Also self-care. I always think of self-care when I see the Ace of Cups. So do you need to have a wee self-care moment? That scene in Jesus Christ Superstar when Judas tells Jesus, what will you do when the crowd turns against you? 9 of Wands for Marita. So feeling a wee bit defensive. Where are you putting up fences? Where are you putting up defences and barriers? Are some of those defences a wee bit redundant now? Sometimes we get ourselves into the pattern of, we become overly defensive where we put up a fight sometimes when we don't need to. We probably have all felt like that at one point or another, or we probably all know someone who's like that, who we feel like whenever we speak to them, it's like they're going to battle. And it can be quite difficult, so it can. Let's see, Jen's using Anna K and it's got the Chariot, so bringing Chariot's willpower, isn't it? But it's, I suppose, balancing all of the different things that you've got going on. I suppose that it works internally and externally, doesn't it? Internally, we've all got we can feel differently about something, depending on how we're feeling, depending on the day it is, depending on the context. So we've all got those 2 horses, the black and the white horse, represent they can represent us internally and how we have to balance our different feelings on things, but it can also be the external stuff that we need to balance. Decks were an older version of the Morgan Greer and Tarot of the Dead, which is out of production. Very nice. Very nice. I have to stay out of our local charity shop. I suspect an entire tarot section came from me. I'll have the urge to rebuy them if I go in. I did the same with the bookstore. Where is your local charity shop? Asking for reasons, says Ferdiad. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Where is your local charity shop, Tony? Yeah, like when I was saying I gave away, at the start, I've mentioned that I've given away Sacred Web Tarot. I gave away a lot more than that. I gave away a good maybe 10 decks or something. I gave them to the shop, Sword and Sorcery, that I was talking about. So yeah, whenever I go in, I've kind of got to stay away from their tarot section because I'm like, I know what I'm like. I'll end up rebuying one of those decks, even though I purposely gave it away because I wasn't using it. Oh, sixes, right? Okay, of course, different. Got you. A little bit far away from me, but a guy can dream of finding a charity. Oh yeah, because you said, oh, it's in Canada, right? Okay, yeah, that's a wee bit far from me as well. Oh, Tony, it's way past your bedtime. I'll put the thingy in the chat then. So the next prompt. So we've had what do I need to think about. Now, what do I need to do? So what action do I need to take is the second card. So I've got the 9 of Cups. So let me just stick that in the chat. What do I need to do? So what do I need to do? So I definitely feel as though there's like we can see it visually here. Thinking about, so you've got the guy who's like kind of obviously pondering over, like disappointed by, sad about the spilled cups. And then what you need to do, so you can see that he's obviously taking the cups that are still full and he's put them up. So it's like, right, you need to think about where you're letting your disappointment get away with itself. And what you need to do is you need to realize that, you know, there are still some really good things going on and you need to make something of that. So it's not just about, you know, it's not just about recognizing it, it's about actually doing something with it. So you need to, and almost, I need to pick these cups up. And this is, you know, this is known as the wish card. So it's maybe about taking this, seeing this as an opportunity and taking it and doing something with it, like creating that happiness for myself with it. See, 2 of Wands. Nice. Star. So I think the 2 of Wands is the building your portal card. I always see the 2 of Wands as being planning. Not so much about action, but planning the action that you're going to take. If it's an RWS, then you've got that guy with the world in the palm of his hand. He's kind of looking out, surveying his kingdom. He's looking at what's to come. So yeah, taking that, I suppose, that hope and that inspiration from the star, and what you need to do is make a plan, like, right, okay, what am I going to do with this? What's coming next, type thing. And the 9 of Cups for you too. Very nice. I think the 9 of Cups is a card of like emotional fulfillment, isn't it? It's one of the highest numbers of cups, the highest single digit. So we're talking high watery, high emotional energy here. So it is a really positive card. The image here I've always found a bit weird, a bit standoffish for such a card, just because he's got his arms crossed, his body language is quite kind of you know, it's almost like he feels the need to protect himself. And if this is what he's just been through, then you can understand why, I guess. So yeah. Anyway, sorry. The Emperor for Jilly. The Ace of Swords for Tony. And let's see, Chariot. Is your first card, and 5 of Swords is your second one. Okay. So maybe you need to be a wee bit ruthless. So the Chariot, usually suggests you're taking on quite a lot. There's quite a lot to do. Like you're balancing quite a lot of stuff, and it's not always an easy task. So maybe you have to be quite ruthless and just, do you know what? See that I'm not dealing with that right now. I've got too much on as it is. My dog has requested that I escort him on his walk. Enjoy your walk, Beth. Oh gosh, 10 of Swords for Debbie. Maybe wait until the sun comes up to set my plans in motion. Yeah. And the 10 of Swords is, as much as it looks like a horrific card, I quite often see the 10 of Swords as being like, because the 10s are the kind of the cycle renews. Like it's you're starting to kind of move away from that difficulty of the 9, the anxieties and the difficult stuff that we go through in the Swords journey. So yeah, definitely kind of that sunrise is upon you. I suppose it's just about seeing that and taking full advantage of it and moving forward into it, and maybe not. Yeah, sometimes in that 10 of Swords, like it's such a, I don't want to use the term dramatic, meaning like you and whatever this is meaning for you, but like one sword would have been more than enough to get the job done, whereas there's 10 in this guy. Do you know what I mean? I'm talking about the Rider-Waite Smith here, obviously, but it's just it feels like overkill. It's total drama. And sometimes when we're in that place, it can be quite tempting to stay there. It's almost like we get that, that hormone kick just from being in that, that place. Whereas sometimes I think we need a bit of help or a bit of a kick to say, right, okay, I'm capable of moving on from this. I'm totally going to move on and learn from the experience and take myself forward type thing. Donna's got the Ace of Cups reversed. Donna, I think you just need to turn your whole deck upside down. So what you need to do with that, there's an opportunity there maybe that you're missing, that you're not quite seeing. It's maybe quite subtle. Cups, those kind of emotional gifts that come with the cups can be quite subtle in and of themselves. But when you've got that reversed ace, that to me suggests that there's maybe something there that you're not seeing. So you need to find that opportunity, I think, and turn that on its head, turn that the right way up. And maybe a wee self-care moment is what's needed, like I was saying earlier about the Ace of Cups. Manita's got the 7 of Wands, so 9 and the 7. So again, with a kind of so I mean, that might be suggesting standing your ground, actually. 4 of Pentacles, Tammy Pie needs to watch her pennies. Pennies are going away. He's looking out in the Vachetta too. Right, okay, very nice. Golden's got the Star. Yeah, so that self-care moment that you're thinking about, I feel as though that's just continuing on from that. So maybe it's that healing moment of the Star that you're needing to bring about with some self-care. How on earth are you remembering everyone's previous cards? Because they put them in the chat, Simon. I can remember yours because it was the Star and it was one of the first that I saw. But Golden's putting, like, 1 was the Ace of Cups, 2 is the Star. And quite a few do that because when I'm reading cards, I don't just read individually. I like to know what came before and stuff. So some people will do that for me, but they'll list them all so as that I'm not going and searching the chat to see what it was. Advocating for myself in the medical system. Oh, definitely need to stand your ground then. Shattered my illusion. I was so impressed. Well, I impressively managed to remember your Star, Simon. Oh, that sounds a bit weird. Right, third On that note, um, the third card is what is my challenge. What is my challenge? The tower. Okay. So the tower. Gosh, that suggests that I'm going to be on a rough day tomorrow, is what this suggests. So the challenge is a tower moment, and that's the only major that's come up so far. So it's like a major upheaval that this is talking about. That's going to leave me, disappointed, potentially really upset. I mean, as much as I'm saying the action here is I need to, realise what's still standing up and take advantage of it. Do you notice that if we were to, if we imagine this being a camera point of view, if we were to pan this round, we would almost be seeing, we'd be seeing the person with the cups behind them. You know how the cups are behind them here? So I'm talking about how this person needs to pick up these cups and put them on the table and blah, 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 blah. Maybe that's not it at all. Maybe it's for me to leave these people alone and actually I need to change my point of view on what's going on here. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely suggests that there's some shittery afoot, doesn't it? So you get the 9 of cups, Simon. So have you got on the Vachetta tarot? Have you got John Travolta with his arms crossed, or is yours quite a wholesome 9 of cups? I don't even. The only I suppose challenge that might come with the 9 of cups is a bit of overindulgence. I mean, 9 cups is a lot. That's a lot for this guy to drink. So just should go easy on the mead. That's what I would maybe say. Let's see, 5 of swords for Jelly. So that is quite a challenging, tough situation, isn't it? I think you just need to get that rest and make sure you're looking after yourself, Jelly. 9 of cups for Tony is right. I think 9 of cups is maybe the card of the evening. Well, there's always one or two cards, isn't there, that kind of repeats itself through the, through our cards that we're pulling. Let's see, 5 of swords. 5 of swords as well. So we've a few 5 of swords cards pulled, haven't we? Oh, the Hanged Man for Debbie. Okay, so your challenge is things being turned upside down. Your challenge is your perspective being changed. Delays, maybe. The Hanged Man is sometimes like, things being put on hold. So maybe something you've been working towards, there's going to be a delay there, or you're not going to get, the result isn't going to come as soon as what you were expecting or hoping. 2 of Pence reversed. I swear my whole deck isn't reversed. So your challenge is, to me, that suggests you're taking on far too much, Donna. You're trying to do too many things at once. The 2 of Pentacles reversed. You're juggling too many things, and it's just completely throwing you. Things are out of balance, and you're not managing everything at once. It's getting to the point where, if you're going to try and spin all those plates, some of them are going to start falling. And it's like when one thing starts to go wrong, it'll feel like everything's going to follow. So it feels like what was your action card? The Ace of Cups reversed. It's funny, the example that I was thinking in my head there is, see if I'm carrying up 2 cups of tea upstairs. So my stairs are it's not just like bottom and straight up to the top. It's like the bottom step and you turn, you go up, there's a half landing, and you turn again and you go up. So there's a lot of turning. So when I'm carrying tea, if it's too full, it gets very swishy and I end up spilling. Usually what I find is if I fuck up and I spill a bit of one cup of tea, it off balances me and I end up spilling some of the other one. So that way one thing can go wrong and it feels like there's a bit of a knock-on effect. But it was just funny because that was the example that was in my head, and then it was the Ace of Cups. Maybe that's why, because the Ace of Cups first was your second card. Anyway, yeah. The Eight of Rods for Fortune's red. The Eight of Rods is quite a high energy card, so if when it's in a positive position, it means that you're going with that. But if it's a challenge for you, then it suggests that those rods are maybe coming towards you. So a bit of overwhelm is maybe your challenge. You need to think about how you deal with that. Where the tower is might be an inner change, and so a revelation. Maybe. It may well be. John Travolta is very wholesome. He's a wee bit cold. He's a wee bit like, I don't know, his body language just says, like, don't come near me. I know I've got all these cups, but you're not getting any, they're mine. Don't diss my Danny. Do you have some meat stashed away, Simon? Says Sandra. The Emperor, they don't want to pay for the procedures, so your issue is with the establishment. If it's the health, it would be the kind of the healthcare system. That's a lot of bullshit. The next card will be interesting for you, Marita. So hold off and we'll see what the last card is for you. John Travolta is not wholesome, says Jen. Just discovered that I'm wineless. The shame. I don't think you can drink wine and have antibiotics at the same time, can you, Chili? See, Tammy Pie's got the Nine of Cups. What is it with all these Nine of Cups cards? There's quite a few of you that got it as your third card. In fact, I think there might be 3 of you that got it as your third card. And it's 3 times 3, by the way. Ace of Cups, the Star, and then the Queen of Swords, prioritising my A-level students and revision when I am not well. Yeah, wait. Queen of Swords, I don't know if that was what I said or if I said Ace, but Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords can be a challenge when it's that harsh side of the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is great when you want to understand something really complex and you need someone who can explain it to you on your level. Queen of Swords is not so great when you're looking for someone who's, I suppose, going to be that more touchy-feely, like fluffy, emotional, as doesn't tend to be what the Queen of Swords is to me. Queen of Swords can be quite harsh, particularly see if you don't get things straight away, or see if you don't take responsibility for your shit. The Queen of Swords will call you out and, probably won't really think twice about shaming you for it. Maybe not quite as bad as the King. Much more kind of emotional, in touch with our emotional side than the King is, but still, Queen of Swords can be quite harsh. And quite lonely too. There's sometimes quite a lonely feel about the Queen of Swords. I don't get along with guys who hoard their wine. Don't try to pour from an empty cup. Look after yourself. We always put our students first. It's probably get your wine off, yeah. Now I'm thirsty for wine, says Tammy Pie. Do you know what my problem is, by the way? I've been not really. So these are my drinks. Oops. The coffee's still totally full. I've not been drinking it. So I'm now going to finish up this live, and then have a full cup of coffee to drink at 11 p.m. So that's not great. Probably best not to make your body process alcohol when it's sick. I was in half term this week doing revision sessions. Says Ferdiad. Let's see, the Widow, the Queen of Spades, says Tammy Pie. Queen of Swords is protecting her heart with that sword. Yeah. Cool. Okay, card 4, folks. So after seeing what our challenge is, card 4 is what is my secret weapon? Aha, now we're talking. What is my secret weapon? Okay. So for me, my secret weapon is my intuition, my kind of that sense of inner knowing, you know. Deep down things feel chaotic and stuff, but I just need to trust myself. Now I'm actually thinking about this. This might apply to stuff there's a lot going on in work just now. So June is Pride Month, and we are planning a Pride Month celebration in my work, and I've taken a lot of responsibility for it, and it's adding a lot of not so much time wise, but it's more just like headspace wise. Like it's the first time that my location have done this, and I want to do it justice. And I think I kind of putting a lot of pressure on myself to get it right, and it is feeling a wee bit chaotic. And aside from that, like some of my colleagues are off just now, and it's just making things, just the general day job, feel really busy. So things are quite chaotic, but at the end of the day, I'm managing to get things done. And I just need to kind of trust my instincts. When I start to feel that panic, that kind of oh gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. Too much is happening. I'm overwhelmed. I think I just need to quiet my mind and actually listen and trust what my instincts are saying, I guess. But it can be a lot, can't it? I'm the Queen of Swords, and yet pretty much sitting here alone in my tower, judging everyone. Speaking for our Queen of Swords, we yell because we care. So Tony has got the Queen of Wands. So your sparkling personality is your secret weapon, Tony. So as much as you try and pretend that you're John Travolta with your arms crossed and keeping everyone at a distance, you've got that sparkling, warm personality that draws people in. When you speak, people want to listen to you. And that is an absolute superpower. Oh, another thing I should say, actually, I am doing 2 fairs this weekend. I'm reading at the Glasgow Spiritual and Holistic Fair on Saturday, and I'm reading at Glasgow Witchy Bazaar on Sunday. So there's going to be lots of taroting this weekend. So I'm going to need this as my secret weapon big time. So and I always get really nervous and really unsure of myself before these things. I always think, why did I do this? Why did I sign myself up for doing this? Who do I think I am? I always have those types of thoughts. But I need to learn to quiet those thoughts and just trust myself. And trust that I can do this, I guess. Oh, Simon, you get the Hermit. That's an excellent secret weapon for you. Although I don't know if it's so much a secret. I think the cat might be a wee bit out of the bag by now, after however many years of being known as the Hermit's Cave. But that's great. I love that. Let's see, third ad, you've got the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so your secret weapon is the Ace of Pentacles. So there's maybe a wee bit of it's an opportunity there, I guess. Ace of Pentacles, I see that as something, it's like something coming your way. It's not like a lottery win or something like that, but it's just like a wee something coming your way that's going to, if you do something with it, if you make it count, then it can make a difference. It's a chance to make a difference. That's what it is. Or maybe you've got the Ace of Pentacles because you're rich, Ferdiad. Maybe that's why that's your secret power. You've got the coin there. So everyone be really nice to Ferdiad. Ferdiad, does Ferdiad translate to sugar daddy? Is that what that means? Happy to help. She's one of my favourite cards. She's got her hand out. She's so open, but at the same time, she's protecting herself. Let's see. And you've got the Hermit too. Look at all the synchronicities we're seeing here in this spread tonight. I love this wee spread. I love this. This is great. And Simon, was that the Pride Month thing? Are you organising that for your work too? Temperance for Debbie. So your secret weapon is in finding the balance. I suppose you've got that beautiful balance in your grandchild, haven't you? And I think you might have said last week that despite everything that's going on, that's your safe space, and that's where you can really kind of just recharge your heart almost, isn't it? Let's see. 9 of Cups, then 10 of Pentacles. So Tammy Pie is rich too, so let's all be nice to Tammy Pie and to Ferdiad. Oh gosh, Donna, your secret weapon is the 3 of Swords reversed. Right, that's 4 reverse cards. So hang on, let's just talk about that for a second. So for my folks that do read reversals, if you pull a spread and the cards are all reversed, what do you do? Do you think, right, okay, well, clearly I just picked the deck up the wrong way around and turn them all the right way? Or do you read them all as reversals? Or do you read them all kind of like they were, similar to upright, but maybe just like generally things are maybe a bit blocked? That's maybe what I would tend towards. 3 of Swords is your superpower then. That suggests to me that you have the ability to call a spade a spade. You can call things as they are. You can see through bullshit, and you're not scared to rip that plaster off as and when it's needed. But just generally, things are feeling a bit blocked right now, Donna, is the impression I would get. Simon is his own secret weapon. Knight of Pentacles for Golden. Slow and steady. Ferdiad says, yes, my lavish teacher's salary. 1 of 3 organised. Yeah, so I'm kind of the same, actually. There's 2 or 3 of us that are organising, but yeah, but my co-organisers, one of them is still off, and she's off until Thursday, and the other one was off last week. So I was feeling the pressure last week. And of course, all the decisions were having to be made last week. Kinsley is my shining star. Oh, Kinsley. For some reason, I think the Ace of Pentacles is your secret weapon is optimism. Blocked energy was the main gist of my reading last week also. see. The darker side or the energy is blocked, a lesson that you aren't learning from the Three of Swords. Potentially. Oh dear, right. That's us just coming up to 11 o'clock, folks. That was the end of the spread. It was just 4 cards. But yeah, I think I quite like that wee spread. As I say, I found it on sortedsoul.com. I just found it online. I was just Googling for spreads to use. But I really like the look of it, and I like how it's turned out. I feel like it's quite a comprehensive reading that I've got. I feel like the reading that you guys have got have been quite good, and I like all of the wee synchronicities that we've seen. I feel as though that's always a hallmark of a good spread. You know, when you see things like that happen, it's just like a wee cherry on top. So yeah, what I'll do, I'll probably put. I think I might have forgot to do it last week, did I? But I'll try and remember and take a picture of my spread and post it on Insta and on Facebook, on the Facebook group, Barely Balanced. So if you guys want to do the same, just tag me so that I see them. I'd love to see all your spreads, actually be able to see the cards rather than just read what they are. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to get to my bed, take my alcohol and my coffee and get to bed. I hope everyone has... I should say, by the way, next Thursday is Sandy's birthday, so I won't be going live next Thursday. We're going to go for dinner. We've not quite decided where yet, but we're going to go out for dinner. And I've got him some goodies for his birthday. I've spoiled him this year, so I'm looking forward to his birthday. But yeah, because of that, I won't be going live. That'll be the 5th of June. I should be live the week following. Barely Balanced, is that the name of your group? It's not my group, Simon. It was Chris Yau's group. That is Chris Yau's Facebook group. That I kind of a co-admin. But yeah, that's where I post that I'm going live. So that's just where I've tended to post my spread. But I'll put it on Instagram. So if you put it on Instagram, anyone you can request to be a member of that group if you want. But if not, then pop it on Insta and tag me on it so as I see it. Barely is spelled Bearly. Let me see if I can find that and put a link to it. That's if I know how to do that. Share. There we go. Copy link. And into the chat. My Instagram is Elemental Cartomancy. I'll pop a link to that in the chat too. Oops. So I want to click on. So that's my Instagram, folks. Yeah, follow me on Instagram. Have a look at my link tree as well. It's just a site where I have all my links, but I usually post. I lost the ladder. For Linktree, I'll post what I've got upcoming. So I'll post if I'm going live, and I'll post if I've got in-person events like fairs that I'm doing coming up. So keep an eye on it, and you can see links to my YouTube and my Insta and stuff like that as well, and my email. So my Linktree is just like linktr.ee/Elemental Cartomancy. You search Elemental Cartomancy on Linktree, you'll find me. Simon says, should create an Elemental Cartomancy Facebook group. Yeah, I probably shouldn't I? I always thought there was I don't know, I thought there was enough Facebook groups, so I'd never really created one for myself. But yeah, Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. I'll ponder on it. Oh, thanks, Rudyard. Right. I am going to love yous and leave yous, everyone. Have a fantastic rest of your evening and weekend. Have a great week next week, because I won't see you. Or I won't be live, but I'll probably see you in like Simon's chat and whatever else is going on. But have a great week, and I will see you all later. Bye, everyone.